Priorities. When I got in, we made the Homeless Fraud and Corruption Task Force, and we said we're going to look for every dollar, because agencies like LASA, they're unable to account for it. They can't tell you where the money went. So within a matter of months, we found out a lot of money was stolen. We've charged almost $100 million in fraud. There's a guy, Mr. Sufer, which was covered on Fox News. He was supposed to be responsible for housing 300 homeless people. He used the money to buy a home in Westwood and a home in Greece and to vacation at the Four Seasons. People are stealing the money, and agencies like LASA are supposed to provide the oversight to make sure that doesn't happen. But everyone's making so much money off this, they don't care. The gravy train just keeps coming.
They're stealing us blind. So in addition to the votes, they're also stealing millions and tens of millions of dollars. And so the first thing we can do to triage this is to actually start cranking down the monies. Take the money away and let them live in their hellscape and help the people of California by starting. I don't know if much is going to be changed before November. A lot could, but at least now the dogs are barking.
Studies does show that as much as $24 billion statewide could be unaccounted for when it relates to homelessness.
$24 billion has been spent by the state of California within a 5-year period, and the homelessness got worse. It didn't get better. I was in the legislature.
$24 billion, and it's gotten worse. There's something wrong there. There is definitely some fire under that smoke. And I think what they're doing right now, well, actually they are doing, is they're starting to find out what's under this smoke. And they may not be able to do the vote insanity thing right now, but they can start squeezing them in other ways and then work on the voting stuff as well.
And we're asking, can we get an audit? Can we find out where this money went before we spend more billions? And they are so disinterested. They just want to feed this homeless NGO complex with billions of dollars, and they don't actually want to solve the problem.
So here's the question. What does Karen Bass know, and why wasn't she doing anything? So when you come down with this lawsuit, this investigation, she writes this: Mayor Bass, too, has grave concerns about...
All right, I want to freeze that so in case you guys don't read as fast as Brian. But it says Mayor Bass, too, has grave concerns about LASA and zero tolerance for mismanagement and negligence, which is why she previously directed the city to evaluate how to move away from the agency.
LASA and the zero tolerance for mismanagement and negligence, which is why she previously directed the city to evaluate how to move away from the agency. But threatening federal funds to...
But then she quickly turns. But threatening federal funds does nothing to house people and jeopardizes the progress Mayor Bass has led to reduce homelessness for 2 years in a row. Yeah, it does. It stops you guys from spending the money fraudulently. Until we can get a handle on this, no, you're not spending all this money. You're not going to do it. So right away, when we were talking about the California voting law and their procedure and how they locked that down, a couple of things that they didn't lock down, they are now going to be exploited. President Trump has set the dogs loose and said, turn off the money. And then what's probably coming next is the Postmaster General will stop doing something with the mail, i.e. mail-in ballots. So we can't change California's law. We can try to go to court. That'll take a long time. What can we do to fix things right now? And there are people there who are that are a lot smarter than I am, who are like, this is what we do on the periphery. Let's go ahead and shut off money. Let's go ahead and use the Postmaster General. Let's do whatever we can to make their lives a living hell in California.
There's nothing to house people and jeopardizes the progress Mayor Bass has led to reduce homelessness for 2 years in a row. The improvement is negligible. It's single digits. And what she's trying to say is, you're cutting off funds. You're going to make things worse. What do you say to that?
We're not going to...
All right. So I want you to hear this interview. This interview, I'll tell you who he is, or you might recognize him. I'll let you hear him talk a little bit.
What's happening in California right now?
No, I actually can't, which I think is the problem. You raised this about election integrity, which I think is the point.
That's what I'm watching it, and are any of the things we're hearing about, like thousands of votes all for the same person, is any of that true, or is that just this sort of conspiracy, like 100% for the socialist candidate versus the others. Is any of that true?
Look, we had a problem, a deep problem with voting in America. We had race-based discrimination around voting.
All right, so you can kind of see his name at the bottom. This is Jay Clayton. Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences anymore around this guy, President Trump. Just a coincidence that the guy who was talking about voter fraud in California just got named to be Tulsi Gabbard's replacement, the director of national intelligence. No wonder they're losing their minds. Bill Pulte is setting everything up for Jay Clayton to come in and clean up. They know where they're going. This interview was published way before he was even announced as Tulsi Gabbard's replacement. You checking out the breadcrumbs? I mean, the goosey bumps happening because they are with me. When I watch some of the stuff the Trump administration does, I sit back and go, wait a minute, this movie is driving me crazy. I didn't expect this plot turn. And now that you heard this stuff from Tulsi Gabbard, understand this is the guy who's taken her place.
Voting. It was identified. We had the Voting Rights Act. It was all about access, making sure that people were not denied access. There was a second element to it, which was election integrity, making sure that once everybody has access, that their vote actually counts, that it's not being diluted by illegal voting or shenanigans and the like. I think we've done, a pretty darn good job on access. I don't hear anybody claiming that they don't have access to the ballot box. What we've done.
You hear politicians saying that it's Jim Crow disenfranchised.
But no evidence, right? We have groups dedicated to making sure that people have access. Tons of money dedicated.
All right, so I love how he's thrown this no evidence stuff right back in their face. What evidence do you have that people can't go vote? What black person is going to say I'm disenfranchised? I can't vote. No, you can go. You can vote.
Laws and laws that my office enforces, other offices enforce to make sure that people, on the integrity side, we're doing an absolutely terrible job. And the American people are right to question it. How come we can have an audit trail in every other aspect of our lives that's important? People cite getting on, planes and the like and things, but, in every
Jay, here's the issue. California's election law allows ballots postmarked by election day to be counted and permit same-day registration. That means tabulation typically continues for weeks after the vote.
I think you go 30 days, isn't it?
Right. But why is that law there? I get you.
That doesn't sound like fraud. That you can argue whether the law makes sense, but that doesn't sound like a fraudulent situation.
No, there's a great.
See, that's what we've been saying, right? Right. I hate that word. That's what we've been saying. That's what pissed everybody off a few days when I said it's the law. Sorry, it's the law that got passed. Now we have to figure out how do we fix this, but you have to come around the other side to do that. You have to look at what do you have the opportunity to do to fix the fact that they solidified their cheating with a law. They actually got their House and their Senate to actually vote it in, and then Governor Newsom actually signed it. So as she's saying it, she's saying the same thing I was saying. It stinks. It looks like fraud, but because of the law, it's not fraud. So what do you do about it?
There's a great phrase, opportunity for fraud, right? One of the things you do in designing laws is reduce the opportunity for fraud without, in this case, reduce the opportunity for fraud while not adversely impacting. And every time it happens,
Jay, it's like, okay, all these are coming in for the next 30 days. Oh, Democrats vote that way, so it just makes sense that it's 100% Democrat. That's where the opportunity comes from. So, right. Yeah, you can have it. Why does it always go that way with the mail-in votes? Why is it always 100% Democrats are voting in the mail-in?
Or why can't you count?
You can't answer that question. That alone is illegal to even ask in California. You can't challenge anything. And so I think California is about to rue the day that they pissed off Spencer Pratt and, of course, President Trump. Because now President Trump is looking for the solution that doesn't quite require today going after the law. going after it and finding the law unconstitutional, that's a long process. But I think he's found a way. And understand, as you listen to this guy talk, he's just been nominated to take Tulsi Gabbard's place, and this interview took place before that.
Them like they do in other jurisdictions on the same day as Election Day, or within a very reasonable
Well, if you
time.
mail them in on Election Day, they're not going to be there on Election Day.
Well,
I mean, I got stuff returned to me that I sent out for Christmas by like 2 months later that was coming back in.
why we wait until Election Day for mail-in ballots, I don't
really
understand.
But those are questions with the law, and
Yes.
it doesn't suggest that there's necessarily fraud here. You can.
Yep, see, you're listening to the liberal defense. They know they've locked it down. They absolutely know what they've done. It pissed off so many people in the chat. People were unsubscribing from me. They didn't want, I don't want to hear it. Barry, it's fraud. I know. Barry, they're cheating. I know. But it's the law. And so now, days later, many people are starting to understand, oh boy, they really did pass a law that allows them to do this craziness, and the media backs it up. Hey, might sound bad, but it's the law.
Have cause for an investigation, but what the governor's office.
The vote totals that come in suggest it might
Becky, I
be fraud.
completely agree with you.
Yeah.
It's what it does.
I'm not saying there's not fraud. I'm
No.
just saying there's not necessarily fraud there, and that's.
But what it is it makes the opportunity for fraud so much greater when that is not necessary. It is not necessary for ballot access, and it's not necessary.
Well, one guy was up 8%, and now 3 days later, or whatever
Spencer.
it's been. Yeah, now he's down.
Yeah, well, and it makes you ask: Is mail-in voting being used by one group and not another? Whether it's being used honestly or honestly and dishonestly is a question now everyone is asking, and it's a question that can be eliminated. Look at Florida. Everybody's comfortable that Florida delivers election results and that there's access to the voting booth in Florida. I think, Florida deserves a great deal of credit. Florida is a state that has many jurisdictions that lean right, many jurisdictions that lean left, and I think they all agree that as a state, they probably have the best election laws.
Andrew?
Now you see where it's maybe going. So that guy is going to be the new DNI, and I can't believe I found that where he was talking about California election law before President Trump put him in place. And like I said, I just don't believe in coincidences with this guy. I just don't. All right, so I'm going to show you something now that's going to blow you away. Understand, there's some what people would call red language. Spencer Pratt goes absolutely off in this piece. I mean, goes off in this next 3 minutes. You won't believe this.
The campaign portion of my mission to save Los Angeles is coming to a close, and I'm moving on to the next, more interesting phase. Listen, I've spent a lot of time slaying everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take the chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. You think you can get rid of me that easily? I know a lot of dim-witted jerks thought I was in this for a grift, that I was going to roll up and leave town if I didn't get into City Hall.
It's just not fair.
Hey, morons, I didn't get in this for political power. I got in this to expose this corrupt machine, and nothing has changed. You enjoy your worthless meetings in City Hall.
If you have all this information, you're running for mayor. Show what you're really about, or get the fuck out of the race.
I'm going to be lighting you up every single day, and now I don't have to worry about offending CNN viewers. I don't have a campaign laws hamstringing me now. It's war. It's 0 hour for Los Angeles.
Oh, it gets better. Oh, he goes absolutely off here. I mean, oh yeah, go ahead, Spencer.
Angelinos are now stuck with two morons responsible for all their problems, and they have to choose between Dumb and Dumber. That's not a choice. That's the machine protecting the machine. And now every problem that plagues Los Angeles because of these two corrupt communists is going to accelerate, and the city will tumble headlong into the abyss. You have no idea how many major developers, hoteliers, business owners, entrepreneurs have been texting me saying they're packing up and leaving town. More of your favorite restaurants will be shuttering. That means less tax revenue. That means the city has to cut services, more potholes, less firefighters, less police patrols, more criminals, more drug addicts terrorizing your communities. And we haven't ended it. You have no idea.
Oh, this is good. Oh, this is real good. I'm sitting here laughing. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. It's so good.
Yeah, how bad things are about to get for this city. Look at this place already. Weeds growing from every crack and crevice. Graffiti over every square inch of public space. Garbage, drugs, feces, burned up dogs, burned down towns, abandoned storefronts. This city is a mess, and you're about to reward the arsonist who torched the place with 4 more years of destruction?
I know he's very bitter.
My goal hasn't changed. I've been laser focused on stopping these commie animals, and I will stop them. If you think we uncovered a lot of fraud and evil in the campaign, just wait. We have some recordings of one of your exalted candidates doing and saying something that would make her resign in shame. I was saving it for the general election. Go ahead and pick your demon, certify your choice, and then you get to see it. So Karen Nithya, ask yourself, is it possible that one of your employees may have a recording of you doing or saying something that would force you to resign in disgrace?
Right now, Ramen and Karen Bass pooping their pants. Is it possible one of your employees recorded you saying something? And they have no idea what they said when they said it. And he just dropped that into their heads right now. I'm going to unleash something that should cause you to absolutely resign. But I was going to wait until after, but you cheated me. But now I'm just going to start dropping stuff on you guys. Wow.
Hope you sleep well at night over the next 5 months, because you know who hasn't slept well at all for the last 17 months? My mom. All my neighbors in the Palisades. All the moms who worry about their kids walking past drug addicts in front of their schools. All the business owners getting crushed in the LA economy, worried that they can't stay in business and feed their kids. Angelinos have been struggling for years now, all while corrupt politicians and fraudulent NGOs profit off the misery and fleece us for the tax dollars. Well, now we're flipping the script. I want all of you awake at night sweating and worried about 5 a.m. when the FBI blazers bust in the door, breaking open your office, because I assure you, they're coming. You think your election was going to stop me? If you want to stop me,
you're going to have to fucking kill me!
Oh, run, run.